Good evening, guys. Today is the day two of AngularJS tutorials. I'm going to taking on the topic modules, and my name is Abhishai. I'm from third year AML department. Today, I'm going to talk about modules, AngularJS modules. First of all, in this session, we will discuss what is module in AngularJS, how to create a module, what is a controller in Angular, how to create a controller, and how to register a controller with a module. So what is module in AngularJS? A module is a container for different parts of application, that is controller, service, directives, filters, etc. In software development, a controller is a type of software that packages an application with its libraries and dependencies. The main use of container is to deploy the things very fast. To deploy certain things very fastly. So for that, we use container. Now, next, why module is required? You can think module as a main method in other type of applications. For example, .NET console application has a main method, which is the entry point to the application, and it writes together the different parts of the application. So, in a module, like it will write in a module, it will write the application for different parts. So, how to create an module? In So in this, how to create a module? The syntax is where my app is equal to angular.module in my module, comma. Creating a module in Angular is straightforward. Use the Angular objects module method to create a module. The Angular object is provided by Angular script. Following the example creates a module. The first parameter, that is my app, specifies the name of the module, my module, my app. And the second parameter specifies the dependencies in the module. So we can see what all the modules do. See here, ng app is equal to my module name. In module, it will configure, it will route, it will filter. This is like a working diagram of a module. Why module? Module is a starting point of an AngularJS application. ng app have an empty module made its controller functional global. The controller function will become global if we didn't register with the module. There, there may be chances of overriding data. To avoid this, we have to register controller function within the module so that the so that can solve global value problem. See in here we can see where my app is equal to angular.module. In here we can see it is to solve the global value. The value once we give the value, it is like initialize for the entire program. We cannot change that. So control. So if we didn't give any data, some other data can override this module data. So to avoid this, we have to register the controller function by the starting of the program only. So what is a controller in Angular? Before that, a module can depend on other modules. We will discuss this later. Right now, the modules that we are creating is not dependent on any other external modules. So I'm passing in here. You can see I'm passing just an empty array for the second parameter. In a module, it can take another module for working also, and it can also work independently also. That's like according to our requirements, it will be done. So what is a controller in AngularJS? In Angular, a controller is a JavaScript function. The job of the controller is to build the model for the view to display. The model is the data in a real-world application. The controller may call into a service to retrieve data from the database. So from the database only it will retrieve the data. So main job of the controller is to build a model for us to display. The model the model itself is the data, and this data will be saved in the database. From the database, it will retrieve the data, and it will be using that data to display. So how to create a controller in AngularJS? Simple to create a JavaScript constructor function. This is the syntax where my controller is equal to function dot dollar symbol dot scope. What is dollar symbol scope? Dollar symbol scope is an Angular object that is passed to the controller function by Angular framework. We attach the model to the scope object, which will be available within the view. We use this data binding expression to retrieve the data from scope object to display it. So whenever we use the scope, if you imagine if you are making an app for displaying first and last name and combining it together, in scope dot first name, it will store the data for what is the first name, and in scope dot last name, it will store the data for last name. When we need to display full name is equal to scope dot first name plus scope dot last name, then we will see what will be the output. So if I run the code where my controller is equal to function scope message, the Angular JS tutorial. In this, it will show the message as Angular JS tutorial. So how to add a controller to module? In where my so there's this space in this where my app is equal to Angular dot module, my app controller is equal to my controller, comma function, dollar symbol scope. This is the syntax for adding to the controller to the module. So this is a small topic in modular. Yeah, so we have shown you how in this session I have shown you what is a module in Angular, how to create a module, what is the controller in Angular, how to create a controller, how to register a controller with the module. Yeah, if you guys have any doubt, you can just ask me. This is very small topic which I got. To create a controller, how to register a controller. If you guys have any doubt, check. So thank you guys for joining my live. Thank you.